السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. أهلا وسهلا فيكم في قناة طارق جي تي لمنصة الألعاب والتكنولوجيا. في هذا القناة نستعرض عليكم أحدث وأقوى التقنيات من الألعاب، من أخبارها واختباراتها. معاكم البروفيسور، واليوم حيكون عندنا إيش في عندنا انطلاقات لمنتجات إنتل الجديدة. هلا قاعدين بيحضروا الجلسة تبعتهم زي مؤتمر كثير كبير، فبدهم يحكوا عن الآخر التقنيات اللي موجودة معهم، واحتمال يعلنوا أشياء عن المعالجات ال 13900 كي. فأنا بالنسبة لي حيحكوا إيش عن 13900 كي، ما حيسكتوا لأنه كل واحد أعلن لهم ضايلين هم بس، يعني أشياء جديدة مفروض يعني. انا متوقع انه يصير في اشي من طرفهم في هذا الجلسة اللي حيعملوها هلا، قاعدين بيسووها قاعدين اليوم. واحنا قاعدين نحكي، فخلينا نشوف لنرى ماذا سيحدث في خلال الجلسة هذه. alright. في عنا هنا كتير شباب، بسم الله ما شاء الله. اهلا وسهلا، وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. اهلا وسهلا الروكي مالك شرف الدين، اهلا وسهلا. كيف حالكم الشباب؟ شو اخباركم؟ يعطيكم العافيه. طيب، عبال ما شو اسمه جهازي يتجهز هنا. معلش يا شباب، انا جيت هنا بالوقت الضائع. احكي لكم اياها بمعنى الكلمه، انا جيت هنا بالوقت الضائع. يعني رش كل شيء عندي، رش صراحه رش 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 معنى الكلمه، فانا قاعد مش عارف ايش اسوي صراحه يعني. فمعلش اعذروني لكل واحد هنا على موضوع الرش، بتلاقوني قاعد نوعا ما بلهث. انا قاعد شايف كل شيء امور طيب هنا نوعا ما. انا قاعد بس معلش بتجهز شويه وبرجع بنشوف شو الترتيب. على العموم توقعاتي هنا الحدث هلا ببدا رايت ناو از وي سبيك، بس انا قاعد بدي افتح البراوزر وافتح الشغلات هذه كلها، فمعلش طولوا بالكم معايا. لا، المفروض انه تشوفوا الشاشه هنا انه في شيء يشتغل يعني، سورت اوف يعني. هيو بدا. اوكي، here we go. هيو بدا. انا قاعد اللي انتم شايفينه انا شايفه على الشاشه الصغيره. خلينا نشوف كيف مع بعض. يلا.
Now, Pat, you went viral last year for doing something really unique as a pre-show get ready. Are you doing anything this year that we should be thinking about?
Well, like always, hey, I get up early, I practice my keynote, I get my speaker notes all ready, and that's sort of like religion for me. And then I don't look at them again until I go on stage, right? That's all done. But of course, hey, you need a few push-ups with me, Robbie?
I don't think I'm going to join you.
Okay. Can I do a few?
I think you can. Wow.
I'll do some more later.
Nice job. I've got to talk to you about that form, but hey, that was a torrid pace. Well, Pat, we love your energy. Your keynote's coming up in 30 minutes. Anything that the audience should take away, or any sneak peek you want to give us about your keynote?
Well, maybe three things. One is the new product introductions, right? And obviously it's a geek fest, but coming out with cool new technologies and being able to describe them to the audience. Second, developer. Let me remind you, developer. The heart of what we do is enable hardware and software developers. And that's what I'm going to talk about. Greg's going to talk about, between, I think of it as a keynote in two parts, right? And I have some things and Greg has some, aspects, but this idea of open. We are here for the open ecosystem. The choice.
اعتقد انا كله بس مقابلات. انا احط ميوت هنا بخلي شغال هنا. انا يا شباب بس مش عارف ايش بسوي قاعد. هنا كاتبين انه كاونت داون تو كي نوت، لو بتلاحظوا تحت اسفل على اليمين على الشاشه عندكم اياه. عدد تنازل الكي نوت بحيث انه مؤتمر انه يجي يبدا. اعتقد ان هذه مقابلات لايف، قاعدين بيحكي مع كل واحد المسؤولين. هذا حيطلع يجي يحكي عن الاشياء المنتجات الى اخره. بس مش هيك. عليكم السلام ابو فيصل، اهلا وسهلا، تحياتي لكم يا شباب. كيف حالكم يا شباب؟ ليش متعصبين على اي ام دي؟ ما في داعي، انا حطيت ميوت بس عشان تعرف يعني الفيديو شغال بس امامكم يعني. ليش متعصبين؟ بالعكس، مثلا نور الورد يا مصطفى اهلا وسهلا. شباب ما تيجي تعصبوا على، ما تكونوا متعصبين على براند معين، هذا خطأ. الافضل في الموضوع هذا انكم تكونوا متعصبين على من هو الافضل. اي نعم، من هو الافضل منتج او شركة اللي بتطلع اداء افضل، هي هيك بالضبط. يعني مثلا شركة ألف بتطلع كروت، أقوى كروت شاشة، وفعليا أقوى كروت شاشة على الإطلاق، هذه بالطريقة هاي، وسعرها مقابل أداء ممتاز جدا. هاي أوكي، أنا بوقف مع المواضيع هاي بالذات. هاي إيش هذه؟ فهي هذه الفكرة في الموضوع هاي، ليس أكثر ولا أقل. الشغلة الثانية إنه تيجي تحكي لي والله أنا بدي كرت شاشة ولا معالج ولا مش عارف إيش سعر رخيص، هذا مرجع لك أنت شو بدك تختار. يعني أنا ما هي تركيزي على شو أرخص. إذا بدك تروح على الأرخص، في كتير رخيص برخص، يعني إنه روح اشتري لك معالج فيها بلت إن جرافيك كارد أحسن لك، يعني لهالدرجة. أي نعم، بهالطريقة هذه. وانا ممكن خلال الفترة هذه يعني ممكن اخذ اسئلة قبل ما يجي يطقوا حناكنا. خلينا نشوف شو الترتيب عليها، انا عدد التنازل تبعهم هنا. anyway. مثلا نور الورد، من افضل الى قدم اداء مقابل من الى الان. هلا الان في الوقت الحالي اي ام دي الكروت الشاشة تاعتهم اياه لسه ما اعلن عليها، حيعلن عليها بتاريخ 3 نوفمبر بالكامل. بالنسبة للمعالجات اليوم الساعة 5 بتوقيت الامارات اطلقت المعالجات هذه بشكل رسمي بجميع اللي هو المتاجر حول العالم. اي نعم، من ضمن المتاجر اللي هو الامارات هنا، بحيث انه ممكن تشتري لك المعالج بسعر على فكرة سعر قريب كتير من اللي هو الام اس ار بي. انا صراحة اندهشت، ام ريلي سربرايز. فالشغله هذه يعني ايم امبرست في الموضوع هذه، انه سعر مقابل اداء نوعا ما متحدي جدا ضد انتل. هلا انتل عندها واحد من الاثنين بدها تصير. هلا انتل عندها واحد من الاثنين بدها تسويها، يا اما تكون سعر منافس نفس الشيء، اثنين نفس الشيء، يا انها تنزل السعر شويه او ترفع شويه، واحد من هدول الاثنين بس. فالموضوع صعب جدا في النقاط هذه. علما انه في انا من شخص بحب اركز على النقاط السيئه اكثر من هي النقاط اللي هو الجيده، يعني فبطلع الفلو اول شيء. النقاط السيئه كانت معالجات 12000 12000 بشكل عام، ان عدم قابليتها المنصه بشكل عام، يعني الجيل الثاني عشر عدم قابليتها باستيعاب 4 حبات رام من الدي دي ار 5. بدي اشوف هل هذه حيحكي انه المنصه هذه حيقدر يسووا في الدي دي ار 5 بكل سهوله بدون اي مشاكل. انا هذه بدي اشوف فعلا بقدر اسوي هذا الكلام او لا. فاتمنى اللي يكون احدى التقنيات انه اللوحات الام اللي عندهم اياها اصبحت قابله للتحمل اللي هو 12000 الرامات دي دي ار 5 بكل سهوله ب4 حبات بدون اي مشاكل. انا هذا التركيز عندي اياه. الشغله الثانيه اللي فيها غير هيك من انتل ما فيها المشاكل، يعني صراحه معالجات كويسه، كل شيء كويسه. غير المعالج بس اللي فيه البندنج، مشكله البندنج اللي صايره هذه اللي في ال 12900 كي اللي فرجتكم اياها بالفيديوهات كيف كنتم تحلوها. هذا المعالج كان في مشاكل في البندنج، بحيث انه السوكت كان ضاغط عليه بشكل كتير كبير، صار في شركات تطلع اللي هو البراكت هذا عشان يصلحوه. اعتقد انه هلا المفروض انه يحكوا كلام انه المعالج تبعنا الترا سموث وما في داعي براكت، المفروض يجي يحكوها يصححوها الشغله هذه. فلو ركزوا على اهم نقطتين هذه التوب 2 قبل ما يجي يطقوا حنك ويجي يحكوا انه احنا عملنا واحنا سوينا واحنا نزلنا المعالج، بكون رهيب. هذا انا التركيز تبعي بشكل كتير كبير. طبعا هذا اهم نقطتين سلبيه، فكره هذه النقطتين جوهريه مع فكره من اللي هو معالجات تبعون انتل. وعليكم السلام يا عمر يوسف، اهلا وسهلا. عليكم السلام، اهلا وسهلا. سمعت ان السرعه تنقص اذا استخدمت 4 حبات رام. صحيح. اذا اجبرت، برضو اذا اجبرت او انت حبيت انك تحط لك 4 حبات رام دي دي ار 5، انت اللي بدك تسوي اللي بيصير قاعد حتضطر انك تنزل السرعه تاعتها الى سرعه اللي هي جدك سبيدز، اللي هي السرعه القاعديه تاعت الرام الاصليه نفسها وليس الاكس ام بي تبعها. اي نعم، وحتى ممكن تنزله اقل عن هيك اذا سمحت لك الفرصه يعني. فحتى ولو برضو حسب اللي هو اختباراتي الشخصيه على 4 حبات رام 128 جي بي دي دي ار 5 على السرعة اللي هي جيدك سبيد لسه فيها مشاكل في الموضوع، واضطريت ان انا اشيل حبتين وضلني ثابت على 64 جي بي. طبعا هاي الاختبارات هذه بتبين على فترة شبه طويلة يعني وبشكل عشوائي. يعني مثلا انت هلا قاعد امورك طيبة ما في اي مشاكل على 4 حبات رام تحت على جيدك سبيد، بعد 3 ايام 4 ايام طلع مشكله. حتى لو عملت تيستينج ميم تيست، هذه ميم تيست 86 وعملت عليه بنش مارك كامل وضغط وستريس بيطلع لك كل شيء تمام، بس بعد فتره حيطلع لك برضه ايرور. خلص، هي المشكله تقع في لوحه الام وليس المعالج على فكره، وليس على الرام، تقع على لوحه الام، بحيث انه النواقل اللي بين المعالج والرام عندها مشاكل في توافقيه عند وضع اللي هو 4 حبات رام على السوكت نفسه. الكونكشنز او الكوميونيكيشنز، التواصل بين 4 حبات رام هنا بيطلع لك مشاكل بينهم، فمش ظابطه في الموضوع ابدا، مش ظابطه. وبالتالي حيعطيك اللي هو الكونكشنز هذه الايرورز. طبعا البي سي اي بنحكي عن زي اللي هو اللينز، يعني زي البي سي اي لينز نقول بس لللينز اللي بين المعالج والرام نفسه. في حاجه مشكله هناك، فاعتقد انه مفروض انه يحلوها في الجيل الثالث عشر. اعتقد يعني اذا ما حكوا فيها ولا فتحوا الموضوع على النقطه هذه بالذات، على موضوع انه 4 حبات رام ولا حبتين رام على السرعات هذه، عاد في ورطه. انا بالنسبه لي ما حيتعمقوا بشكل كتير كبير. انا اعتقد انه حيجي يحكوا انه عندنا معالج هالقد هيك حيكون، هالقد حيصير، وبعدين حيأجلوا على المواضيع هذه كلياتها فيما بعد الى انطلاقه خاصه لها فيما بعد. انا هذا اللي اعتقده. مساء نور، اهلا وسهلا. رياض كيف حالك، شو اخبارك؟ يعطيك الف صحه وعافيه. طارق ايش صار باصبعك هذه؟ تعالجت. كان عندي هنا تم مزع شفره هيك، مزعتها وصار طرطشت في كل مكان زي الانيميشن زي الكرتون وخيطوا لي هنا 3 غرز اصبع هنا. خلاص هلا طابت، ما بعرف اذا مبينين هذا ما تبقى منه، يعني ما تبقى. الحمد لله. ثانكس على السؤال. منور بنوركم يا شباب. طارق بيتكلم عن 4 حبات صح. مالك اهلا وسهلا. ابيك شركات تعمل باورات توصيليه، كرت شاشه 8 بن ومتفرع على 8.8. لو تحكي لنا شوي عن هذا الموضوع للعلم، الباور 650 واط. في فيديو اليوم حينزل على منصات التواصل الاجتماعي ما عدا اليوتيوب، حتشوفوا شو عن ايش بحكي بالضبط. اوكي، ابسط طريقه باي ذا مينيمم ما كان سي. الله يسلمكم يا شباب، الله يسلمكم. اتوقع ما عاد حتفتح تونه. هي مش تونه، كانت هي علبه شو اسمه لانشون، علبه لانشون صراحه. يعني احكي لك تخيل تفتح العلبه الشفره هي لسه هيك علبه هيك، بعدين تتزحلق عشان الدهنه شوب تمزع وهذا اللي صار. وات از ذس؟ ماذا يحدث هنا؟ خلينا نشوف ايش بيسوي قاعدين انتل.
How many tacos did you order?
100.
Bum 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 bum.
The technology inside, the technology that moves the world. How wonderful is that? Intel.
Okay.
Welcome back to Innovation Live. We're coming to you from the San Jose Convention Center, where everyone is gearing up for the opening keynote. For those who are just joining in, I'm Madeline Littrell, and I'll be your host for the next 2 days.
يعطيك العافية. What was that? Anyway. وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. لسه باقي 14 دقيقة شباب، لسه على موعد الانطلاق، على يجي يحكوا الكينوتس، يطلع الشخص ويجي يحكي في المواضيع هاي. ستيل هوفر قاعدين يجهزوا في المواضيع. أنا أول مرة أشوف حاجة زي هيك، يعني لما تيجي تعلن عن منتج معين أو انطلاقة معينة في وقت معين، وبدك تسوي الحركة إنه اللي بسموها بوست ولا بري قبل يعني اشياء قبل ما تيجي تعلن او تطلع الكينوت مفروض تعملها قبل بنص ساعه. يعني مثلا الساعه 6:30 موعد الايفنت هذه المفروض انك تيجي تحكيها على الساعه 6 بالضبط، تطلع وتعمل الحركات هذه كلها، مش تعلن للناس تعال 6:30. شو التوقيت العربي هو بالضبط ولا شو؟ تعرف شو يعني توقيت عربي؟ بيجي يحكي لك انا جاي لك على الساعه 6 المساء، بروح بيجي لك على الساعه 7 المساء ولا 8 المساء. توقيت عربي. اهلا وسهلا، تحياتي لكم لكل الموجودين متابعين معنا هنا، ويلكم. ابو فيصل التلفزيون عبر الانترنت، اي بالضبط، اي بي تي في. اوكي، فهذه هي النقطة اللي بحاول اجي احكي لكم اياها يعني. بس فقط هلا اي ام دي، لكون في علمكم يا شباب، اي ام دي بالنسبة للموضوع تاع الرامات الدي دي ار 5 عندها نفس المشكلة باي ذا واي يعني. ولكن اي ام دي اعلنتها بشكل رسمي، ولكن بتقنية قوية جدا، very technical way، very تقني جدا، تقني جدا جدا جدا. يعني حتى لو رحت على موقع تبعهم تقرأ الكونكتيفيتي تاعت الرام مكتوب عليها نمبر اوف شانل 2، بعدين اللي بعدها ما حتفهم الشيء 1x 1r 1x 2r، يعني حتضيع فيها. هاي الشغلات هاي صعب جدا واحد يجي يفهمها الا بكون تقني جدا عشان تفهم عليها. however معنى ذلك لما تيجي لك تشبك لك حبتين من الرام على اللوحة نفسها تنخفض السرعة. أي نعم، أي شغلة كتير سيئة، لكن معوضين عن طريق اللي هو ترفع الفولتية بشكل عالي كتير كبير. الرامات الجديدة اللي نزلتها جميع الشركات تاعت الرام للاي ام دي اللي هي الاكسبو سيريز، تلاحظ انه في الفولتية تبعها على 1.4، فولتية كتير عالية يا شباب، ما هي قليلة يعني. فبالتالي الحرارة الناتجة اللي بتطلع من الرام حتكون عالي. اي نعم، عالي جدا. هلا رجعنا الى حقبة اللي تعرف كيف ايام زمان بيحكي لك احنا مطلعين رام جديد معاها مروحتين 3 مراوح على اساس ان هيك فوق بعض، تذكروا كيف؟ احنا رجعنا للحقبة هذه من اول جديد. هلا اي واحد بده يشتري له رامات دي دي ار 5، انا بنصحك وبدك تكسر سرعته بشكل كتير على فولتي بالذات على 1.4، نصيحتي من قلبي خلي في تبريد عليها اكتف، ما تخليهاش باسف، يكون في اكتف كولينج عليها. اكتف كولينج معناه انه في شيء ببرده، يعني مراوح هواء ايش ما يكون، بس انه في شيء مبرده يعني. باسف معناته ما فيش شيء برده مع نفسه يعني. فبس هيدز اب على الموضوع هاي، انه الرامات هذه بتخوف. هاويفر الاي ام دي على اخر سرعه بتتحملها المعالج اللي هي سرعه 6000 ميجا هرتز او ام تي. السرعة هذه أي شيء أكثر عن هيك المعالج بصير في تصرف غريب على الكورات اللي موجودة عليه، بحيث إنه لما تيجي تضغط على المعالج مثلا حيعطيك الكور الأول بيطلع لك سرعة 5400، الكور الثاني بيطلع لك مثلا 4800، الكور الثالث 4300، والكور الخامس بيطلع لك 5200. ما هي مزبوطة، ما هي as synchronized يعني، ما هتزبط يعني عليه. وهذه شغلة صراحة فيها questions عليها، يعني في أسئلة عليها. وغير هيك كل هذا الكلام لما نشوف درجة حرارة المعالج توصل إلى 95، وهذا الاختبار اللي أنا حسويه very soon by the way، خلال الأسبوع الجاي إن شاء الله بإذن الله تعالى حتشوفوا الاختبار هذا لايف. كل مطلوب إنه تشوفوا الاختبارات اللي أنا حسويها، اختبارات دقيقة جدا ومفصلة بتفصيل ما هي طبيعية أبدا، عمركم ما شفتوه في أي مكان تاني. this is what I'm trying to say يعني. طيب ليش تنقص السرعة إذا استخدمت أكثر من حبة رام؟ لأنه المعمارية المعمارية الكونستراكشنز البلو برنت تاعت اللوحة الأم، الكونكشنز اللي مشبوك عليها يا فيصل، ما هي مرتبة أو مصممة على تشتغل على 4 حبات، مصممة نشتغل بس على حبتين. السوكت الثاني هذه محاولين انهم يظبطوها. في حاجه لو بشوف على دي دي ار 4 في حاجه اسمها تي توبولوجي، بحيث انه الداتا بتاخذ من يسار ويمين، حبتين يسار يمين او حبتين يسار ويمين بالطريقه بتاخذه وبتنزل. التوبولوجي ما هي موجوده في دي دي ار 5، لسه ما قدروا يوصلوا بالطريقه الصحيحه انه يقدر يحلوها، بحيث انه الداتا مثلا تدخل من الدي دي ار 1 السوكت نمبر 1، بعدين اللي هو A، وبعدين B، بعدين في A2، بعدين B2. التوبولوجي المفروض انه يروح على A1 A2، بعدين من B1 و B2 بزراعها في نقطه معينه، وبعدين بروح على المعالج بالطريقه هاي. لكن الدي دي ار 5 ما هي قادرين يعملوها، هذه مش قادرين يتخطوا اللي هو البي 2 الاي 2 والبي 2، ما قادرين يضبطوها بطريقه صحيحه. في مشكله في somewhere there is problem. على فكره انا بحاول كل ما تيجي تسال السؤال هذا بحاول افسر لكم اياه بطريقه يعني ما هي تقنيه معقده عشان ما تضيعوش فيها يعني. بحاول ابسطكم يعني ابسط طريقه ممكنه بحيث انكم تيجي تفهموها بكل بساطه تستوعبوها يعني. فبس هذه مرحبا يعطيك العافيه. حبات دي دي ار 4 5 استاذ عندي 128 4 حبات دي دي ار 4 اوكي 5 قصدك، وبصير عندي كراشات بالالعاب بيصير زي فريز. هي وانا توي قاعدين بنحكي اللوحات اللي فيها كلها دي دي ار 5 في الوقت الحالي لما تحط لك 4 حبات رام ما هي ظابطه، روح شيل خليك على حبتين ماكسيموم سبيد ماكسيموم السعه 64 جي بي فقط. اذا بدك تطلع اكثر من 64 اكيد بدك تحط لك كمان حبتين عشان توصل لك 128. وهتيجي تحكي لي طبعا لوحه الام مكتوب عليها في الموقع تبعهم 128 وانا معك، انا معك مكتوب اي نعم. هدول الناس مستنين انه في بايوس تصليح من البايوس شيء يعدلوه عن طريق البايوس او بايوس تحديث بايوس ايش ما يكون، لكن ما هي ضابطه الى الان، ما هي ضابطه. فالمعماريه ما هي ناضجه بما فيه الكفايه. بس عشان احكي لك يعني شغله يعني في النقطه هذه ليس اكثر ولا اقل. فاذا بدك تستمتع بالالعاب وتكون مبسوط خلي عندك حبتين رام بس 4 حبات، انسى الموضوع تحت اي ظرف من الظروف. انا بحكي لك يا من واحد مجرب، انا مجرب وتعبت من تجربه، مش على جهاز واحد على جهازين، والله تعبت نفسيا، تعبت من كل شيء. بس خليها في بالك عشان ما توقعش بالفخ في النقاط هذه. وهيني اعلمتكم والباقي عليكم. اللهم بلغت اللهم اشهد. بس لسه باقي 8 دقائق 8 minutes مبينين ليه. هل يستاهل انك تطور من دي دي ار 4 لدي دي ار 5؟ في الوقت الحالي لا. اذا انت مهتم لك علاقه في الالعاب ما اعتقد انه حيكون اشي مناسب لك. يعني اذا في موضوع التطوير ما لهم علاقه، ناو ليست هي ناضجه بما فيه الكفايه. اما اذا انت ما بدك تشتري لك تجميعه جديده اوكي روح لك على دي دي ار 5 ماشي، بس وخليك على حبتين، خليك بالضبط على حبتين، اوعى تطلع من حبتين بس. يلا بحاول احكي لك اياه. مسا النور والورد يا حمدوش، اهلا وسهلا. يعني ممكن تيجي تستغل سرعات الرامات الهاي اند ماذر بورد حتى لو كانت 4 حبات، حتى ولو عندك رامات من سرعه الخرافيه ابو غالي هذا برضه ما في. انت لو بتلاحظوا انه رامات الدي دي ار 4 لو بدك تشتريها 4 حبات بيبيعوها ككيتس، 4 حبات كيتس مع بعض هيك ولا اي شركه بالعالم بيبيعوه نوبري، كلهم بيبيعوا يا اما 2 يا اما واحده، هي بالطريقه هاي. بس عشان احكي لكم اياها في النقطه هذه ما توقعوش، انا ما بدي اياكم توقعوا بفخ، وهذا فخ خطير جدا. الى الان هذه النقاط ما هي عارفين، الناس مش عارفه في الموضوع هاي. وواحد تيجي تفكروا والله انا اختباراتي ما شو اسمه حظي هيك، لا ما هي حظ. انا بحكي لك على تجميعتين على تجميعتين نفس المشكله. وعملت غيرت الرامات 4 مرات 4 مرات غيرته، تخيل برضه نفس المشكله. ما خلص there's no escape. حتى فكرت ووصلت على درجه انه لوحه الام ممكن في مشكله، لا ما في. اخر شيء استنتاجي بعد البحوث والريسيرش والاسئله تاعون الريسيرش اند ديفلوبمنت من الجماعه اللي عندهم اياها هذول انتل، اكتشفت النقطه هي. مش موعد البث. روكي والله ما انتبهتش عليه، سوري والله. روكي دعمنا ب $3. ثانك يو سو ماتش يا روكي، جزاك الله خيرا وتكون في ميزان حسناتك يا رب. ما تقصر ابدا يا روكي، معلش تاخرت 18 minutes later سوري. بس انا مش انا انتبهت علينا. اوكي اوكي مثلا نور وارد كل حي الموجودين، اهلا وسهلا. طارق سرعه الرامات تفرق بايش؟ يعني لو اخذ حبه رام بيكون 8600. الرام بتفرق في اللودينج في الالعاب بس، ما هي اكثر عن هيك. ما تعبش حالك في اللودينج في الاماكن بس، زي يعني لما تيجي تعمل لودينج للعبه معينه بتساعد عليها فقط. يعني هي هذه بالنسبه للالعاب، يعني تشغل اللعبه بيساعد. اما غير هيك تتوقع غير هيك حيساعدك على البوت اب، بيساعدك على الشغلات هاي. الان الالعاب في الوقت الحالي ما هي سكيورد، ما هي مبرمجه على دي دي ار 5، وهذا طبعا حياخد شويه وقت ليه ما يصير انه يكون في برمجه عليه بشكل كامل. يعني بدها شويه وقت، عشان هيك قاعد بحكي لك انه الشركات لسه ما استغلت الدي دي ار 5 بشكل كامل يعني. فعشان هيك بحكي لك في الالعاب الفرق بين دي دي ار 5 و 4 ما هي فرق كبير nothing يعني قاعدين نحكي عن 1% 2% بس. السلام عليكم تحياتي لك بس. يعطيك العافيه اخوي. البي سي اي ماونت بدي اسالك عن قطعه البي سي اي ماونت، هل ممكن تعمل مشاكل معينه بالكارت؟ البي سي اي ماونت قصدك الكيبل تاعت اللي بركب على اللوحه وبعدين تركب كرت شاشه على الناحيه الثانيه عادي. بتسوي مشاكل، ولكن في بدك تاخذ لك اول شيء من ابو غالي براندات معروفه، واذا كان كرت الشاشه تبعتك من فيها البي سي اي 4.0 بدك تجيب الكيبل 4.0. اي نعم تفرق. فاذا بتحاول تجيب لك كيبل 3.0 وتشبك على كرت شاشه مثلا 3090 تي اي ما حيشتغل، ما حيزبط. انا هي مجرب على فكره، عندي القطعه موجوده جربته ما هي ظابطه، فبس عشان انبه لك عليها يعني في النقطه هاي. اذا عندك 3090 او اي كروت شاشه فيها بي سي اي 4.0 كيبل اكستنشن تبعها 4.0 بدك تجيبها عشان تشتغل 100% هيك بيشتغل. امورك طيبه. ويكون من براند معروف، ما اجيب لك والله من علي اكسبرس براند ابو 5 ريال. هذا انا بلغت حكيت لك على راحتك. باقي دقيقتين وشويه، خلينا نشوف ايش الاحاديث والاقاويل بيحكوا قاعدين هنا. وين الشاشه؟
This is your first innovation event in person. How are you?
Mic off. Mic feedback off.
Oh, feeling great. I'm just like learning all of the new things, and I feel great. Definitely, the team has provided so much support.
ترى هذول ادوات المسرح اللي ورا الخلفيه.
Here. Excellent to be here.
الخلفيه ادوات المسرح
We'll
شوف
take it
كيف
back to you.
بخوفه، شنط ومونيترات في كل مكان.
She is impressive. So,
هاردوير اند سوفت وير ديموز، العاب tools and accelerator collaboration open software.
Expect to hear about some new tools that will accelerate development and also new ways to collaborate with Intel to build stronger open source ecosystems. Security is paramount, and we're looking to hear about ways to reduce risk and build software sustainability and catch a glimpse into the future with a number of surprise announcements.
اوبا اوكي.
What's going on backstage? I feel like it's a great time to be back there.
Madeline, I tell you, I love it back here, and I'm going to give you a little bit of a tour. And as you notice, there are some people in this room. Nobody's wearing capes, but I got to tell you, they are our events and supply chain superheroes.
لاحظ شغله، ما حد حاطط ماسك.
Done to make all
ما
of
حد
this
حاطط
work
ماسك.
come to life. So I'm going to kind of bring you back, and I'm going to bring the audience back. I'm going to point over here. This is what we call demo land. So these are the folks that are enabling all of the demos and the showcases and the technology at the event this week. And lots of work. My man Art over there making it happen with his team. And yeah, lots of great stuff going on over there. And this is what I consider the center of the universe. This is our live stream crew over here. If it wasn't for these guys, you wouldn't be seeing this pretty place. So these guys are making it happen. Okay, and then we've got Video Village. Video Village, they're the ones that are putting together all of the content to bring it to
خلص هذا التنازلي. ايش قاعد بيحكي ابو اخلع.
on stage. So watch your step, guys. Oh, wait a minute. Look what I found here. Can you see this? This is programming the 8386 book that was co-written by Pat Gelsinger. Okay.
العب في كرت شاشه على الطاوله، شفتوها؟
Look at that.
في كرت شاشه على الطاوله.
Are we excited, everyone? Look at that. Glad to be back here in person at Innovation 2022.
في كرت شاشه على الطاوله شباب.
Thanks, Robbie. Oh my goodness, I love seeing all the waves and the smiling faces out there. But it's obvious. We have the heroes there. We have the developers here. The execs are here. The special guests are here. And of course, you, our online audience, are also here. Everyone, the time is here. Let's take it to Innovation 2022.
Please welcome Intel CEO Pat Gelsinger.
هذا اللي كان بيعمل بوش اب.
Welcome all. Good morning. Good evening.
تيشيرت الله يخليك تيشيرت يا اخي.
We're celebrating Rosh Hashanah. Our Israeli talent just play a huge role for Intel and Mobileye and our teams there spending the holiday with their family and friends. But to the rest of Team Intel, we are here and we're going to have a great event together now. And it's wonderful to be back. What do you think? In person. Yeah! In person in our backyard here in Silicon Valley. And a beautiful day today, so let's get started. You know, and as the host of Innovation 2022, I have to affirm Intel's deep, unwavering commitment to an open ecosystem. And last year we said we'd innovate on future technologies in the open. We would offer you choice. We'd help drive industry-shaping standards. And, as we said, we have to make them more secure. These platforms have to be things that you can trust in and build your platforms and businesses upon. And over the next 2 days, we're going to show you our progress, but also look into the future in these areas as well. You know, and we have a ton of news for you today in hardware, software, chip design, security, you know, new developer platforms, and everything the industry has to offer. We're going to geek out. Did you get it? Right? Okay, all you geeks in the room, if you don't get it, right, you know, go back and check your ASCII coding again, right? This is geek in ASCII, right? So, and we're going to have some expected guests, but some unexpected guests as well. And we're going to have a great show for you this week. You can think about this as a keynote in 2 parts, right? You got me today, and you got Greg Lavender, our CTO, tomorrow, talking about many of our software-first and developer-focused activities. And for those here on site, you know, join us in our innovation zone, where we're going to have some geeky demonstrations, get to look firsthand. And for those of you online, wish you were here, but the online experience is going to be great. Stay on afterward for expanded coverage, and you don't want to miss it. So let's get started. You know, we're in this new era, and it may not be quite post-pandemic, but we're starting to see our way to the other side of it. And through this period of time, we have seen the increasingly critical role that technology plays in every aspect of human existence. Everything is going digital. How we work, how we learn, how we rest, how we care for each other, how we worship, how we live in society and in community together. In this digital era, we continue to witness the magic of technology, our ability to push forward with innovation, discovery, and growth. And this is driven by what I like to call the superpowers, these foundational technologies that are profoundly shaping how we experience the world. And it creates this bridge from the analog, from the physical to the digital world. It enables us to simulate, to create the digital twin of everything that we do. You know, one of those, compute. And since the 4004, we've just been pushing compute into everything. Connectivity, everyone and everything is becoming connected. Infrastructure with unlimited scale of cloud, but increasingly with edge, unlimited reach for capacity as well as low latency and bandwidth. And AI intelligence everywhere, turning this infinite data into actionable insights. You know, and I've been framing these 4 superpowers for a while, and then in conversation with some industry peers, and in particular a conversation with Thomas Friedman, the Pulitzer Prize winning, you know, New York Times author, he convinced me I was missing one. Sensing. You know, and everything that we compute and connect is now becoming increasingly able to sense. We see objects and even be able to see things that you can't see, right? Hear things, know exactly where you are, and increasingly be able to feel, taste, right? All of our senses. And I want an augmented reality where all of my senses become digitally enhanced as well. And even my infirmities, like here's my hearing aid, yeah, I'm going, you know, part of our family, right? We lose our hearing, but now, what did she say again? I know more about you than you think I know. Even my disabilities become sensory devices to make my everyday better. Each one of these 5 powerfully, individually, you know, just changing. But as you think about it, more sensing means more compute means more connectivity, more infrastructure, more data over that infrastructure, more AI, which leads to more use cases, right? They're reinforcing, accelerating, empowering,
each other to unlock even more powerful possibilities in the future. And it also changes how we think about our business as well, and how we think about chip design and, the role that we play in this industry. And with that, we launched Intel Foundry Services, a key part of our IDM 2.0 strategy to help meet this growing demand for advanced global semiconductors. And we've committed to a strategy of helping to build a more balanced and resilient supply chain for the world. And at its heart, of course, is Moore's Law. And for decades now, I've been in the debate, is Moore's Law dead? And the answer is no. And with advances in transistors, with RibbonFET, advances in power delivery with PowerVia, right? With breakthroughs in lithography, with high INA lithography, the core of semiconductor manufacturing, with advanced packaging technologies, we aspire from today about 100 billion transistors on a single package. By the end of the decade, 1 trillion transistors. 1 trillion transistors in a single package. And we are on schedule or ahead of schedule on this audacious strategy that we have said 5 nodes in 4 years. Normally it takes 2 years for a node. We're going to do 5 in 4 years. Are these Intel folks crazy? No, we are just torrently moving to the future. And our 18A, right, the key one where we'll assert as unquestioned leadership, the PDK 0.3 is in the hands of developers today, and we expect our first test chip taped out against that before the end of the year. We will not rest until the periodic table is exhausted. We will continue to be the stewards of Moore's Law into the future. You got it? Alive and well. But of course, to be a great foundry, you got to be a great wafer foundry. And we're going to continue to work to grow that semiconductor demand, build more capacity, work with our customers as a foundry. And we've announced our intention to acquire Tower Semiconductor. Combined with IFS, we will have a global diverse end-to-end and one of the richest portfolios of differentiated technologies available today as a foundry provider. But our vision is much greater than that. IFS will usher in what we call the systems foundry era. And as the focus moves from system on chip to system in a package, and we see a systems foundry having 4 components to it. First, you got to be a great wafer foundry. We're not debating that. Got to be good at that. But second, right, it has to be great at packaging. And even Gordon Moore, when he wrote his original paper on Moore's Law, he foresaw this day of reckoning where we'll need to build larger systems out of smaller functions, combining heterogeneous and customized solutions. And with 2, 2.5, and 3D stacking, this gives us the ability to increase the number of transistors per device. Third, software. And as you're going to hear from Greg tomorrow, he calls it software, the soul of the machine. We'll take these stable software interfaces that allow you to accelerate your product development and delivery. Open source software stack, the key software components that unleash the different chiplets, accelerators, and abstractions. And we're increasingly going to make that common through our one API solution. And as we like to say at Intel now, software defined, silicon enhanced. Software comes first. And the fourth, a vibrant chiplet ecosystem. And just as Intel has played this pivotal role in standards, like PCIe and Ethernet and Wi-Fi over time, and my granddaughter, when she plugs in a USB stick into the computer, she says, "Thank you, Papa." Yeah. You may like me, but I care more what she has to say. And once again, we're going to lead an ecosystem to create the standardization of a chiplet architecture, and we'll call it the Universal Chiplet Interconnect Ecosystem, or UCIe. And we already have more than 80 companies who are participating in this creation of this open chiplet environment. And you can imagine something like this. Hey, I'm getting a few of my chiplets from Intel, but hey, I have a few of these pieces that I've also developed on TSMC. And maybe my power delivery components are coming from TI, and I have some of my I/O chips that I'm doing on GlobalFoundries. Bring those together, and of course, Intel with the most advanced packaging technology, assemble those together for me, and be
I'm
my
impressed.
supply chain manager. So we're going to bring all of those pieces together, enabling what we'd say is this next generation of the chiplet ecosystem. And let's just hear from a few other voices that are joining with us in this vision.
I am impressed, by the way. This is really good.
TSMC, our goal is to provide an open silicon platform to unleash customers' innovation. That's why TSMC fully supports moving the UCIe ecosystem forward.
The future is chiplets. This is why Samsung supports the UCIe goal to establish an ecosystem of chiplets that will drive the next era of heterogeneous computing. Thank you.
So with Intel, Samsung, and TSMC, you've just heard the three largest silicon manufacturing companies committing to a common direction. And as part of our IDM 2.0 strategy, we're committed to investing in the fundamental capabilities to enable this ecosystem, but also the next generation of talent as well. And part of our $1 billion IFS Innovation Fund is directly investing in companies and startups and disruptive technologies. And we've had phenomenal response, even in the early days of forming this ecosystem. We've already made our first investments and many more in the pipeline to come. But we also have this desire to expand the talent much more deeply. And we have our university shuttle program that we've been running with a select set of public and educational institutions to enable them to have modern technology for their classes, training and talent development. And I've given our team an audacious goal to scale our shuttle program, the passengers, the number of trips that we're doing, 100x. Working with 100x, did you hear that again? Right, 100x increase in our shuttle capabilities. Professors, researchers, students, all of them being trained on the latest EDA tools and having access to shuttles that they can be sending their chips to manufacturing on the most leading process technologies in the industry. And I think of this just like when I did my first DRAM design and sent it to Moses for manufacturing. 40 years ago, but we want to build that talent pipeline for the future. And we're going to work with these institutions to radically increase the semiconductor talent flow of tomorrow. This is our commitment to the future of the semiconductor industry. Switching gears, another passion of mine has been in this area of graphics and accelerated computing. And we've been delivering integrated graphics for decades.
أنا هذا بدي إياه.
But we've also known for decades that high density computing, high performance vector, matrix, the highest bandwidth requires a different solution as well. And this area of HPC has ushered into AI, machine learning, and core graphics technologies like ray tracing. And personally, I've been on this journey for 16 years. When I left Intel 12 years ago, it was the only major not done on my list of things that I wanted to finish. Well, I'm back, and we're now going to get it done. And with that, I'm delighted today to announce our GPUs. We got not one, but three of them to describe today. And the first GPU is our Intel Data Center GPU Flex. And this product, pixels are growing exponentially for a range of workloads: visual cloud tasks, media transcode, cloud gaming, inference and training, and AI. And this is industry's first hardware-based AV1 encoder for a data center GPU, delivering more than 30% bandwidth savings or more streams per platform, however it's monetized by the cloud provider. Open and full stack API access. And today, Flex Series is supporting one API, of course, but enabling frameworks like TensorFlow, OpenVINO, and PyTorch as well. GPU Flex.
Okay. هذا رجا كدور.
But of course, the first cousin of big AI and data centers, high performance computing. And this is our Ponte Vecchio. our flagship high-performance GPU that uses our most advanced IP, really setting the pace for our most advanced packaging technologies, petaflops of performance. And together, Ponte Vecchio, along with our Sapphire Rapids HBM, our 4th generation Xeon.
ألعاب نايس أخيرا
is the computing brains behind the Aurora supercomputer, and together we're delivering these blades right now to Argonne National Labs to build the world's highest performance supercomputer.
أخيرا
But where did it all begin? You can't talk about GPUs without talking about gaming.
أيوة.
And for a long time, we've been seeing that the average price of GPUs is right in this, $200-300 range. But what's happened the last few years? They've just gotten super expensive. We don't think they need to. Today, we're about to fix that. And we are, with gamers, delivering and hearing.
معلومة قديمة نزلت الأسعار.
You should be frustrated because you are
سعر 3060 ما هي 418.
Today, we're fixing that. Here is the ARC 770. Right, this is our top-end gaming desktop GPU packed with features. Delivers 65% better peak performance in ray tracing versus competition. We've come a long way. Let's take a look at the A770.
أول كرت شاشة من انتل بشكل رسمي تطلع وتنعلن، يعني تكون performance تاعها عالي مقارنة مع شو؟ ري تريسيك. اوكي. $770. Available October.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I'm powering mine up. Hopefully this next weekend, and it'll be available October 12th, starting at $329 price point, and the cards are on the way to our reviewers right now.
What? What? La.
So I hope you're excited. I know I sure am. And you're all here at Innovation because you share my passion. The shared passion to continue to innovate, to continue to use technology as a force for good, to serve the technologists on the front lines, and to use technology to solve today's biggest problems. And we've been around for a little bit over 50 years. And we're the company that puts silicon into Silicon Valley. And I remember as a young technician, when I walked into Intel, I was so impressed by the technology leaders that they were there. I thought I had entered the sacred place, going into the temple of technology, where everyone was maniacally focused on what technology could be and how it truly could change the world. And with that, I want to bring on stage a young, bright technologist who embodies that passion to harness technology as a force for good. Ria Chereview, right, graduated high school at 11, started working at Intel as an intern at 14, the same year she received her undergraduate degree from Harvard. She's a whopping 18 years old today, the same age I was when I started at Intel. And you can imagine, on stage, I am now the underachiever. Please join me in welcoming Ria to stage.
Hi, Pat. Thank you. It's wonderful to be here today.
Well, thank you, Ria. And like I say, boy, it's not often I feel like I am just like an underachiever starting at 18. Man, you've done incredible things already.
Thank you.
So tell us what you're working on now.
Oh, absolutely. So right now, I'm an AI ethics lead architect. My goal is to develop technologies that help make AI more responsible, trustworthy, and ethical.
Well, you and I have talked about the importance of taking on challenges, and not being afraid to fail. So what do you think?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm ready to take these on head on and solve them. So.
Okay. So, let's talk about this vast community, this vast universe of tools and technologies we're making available to innovators and developers like you, Ria, and how we want to continue to provide easy, affordable access to the latest stuff. And we want to help you get your hands into it without downloads or tough hardware setup. And so to that end, right? And you'll hear more about this in Greg's session tomorrow, right? The Intel Developer Cloud, giving developers access to new and forthcoming hardware solutions for pre-launch development and testing.
Absolutely, and I think my peers are ready to get their hands on this technology and start innovating with it.
Yeah, and we're expanding our Intel Dev Cloud experience. We're not trying to compete with the Amazon, Google, and Azures of the world, but to win your hearts and minds with early access of the latest great technologies that we're working on. And today, the Intel Developer Cloud is limited beta to select and pre-qualified customers, but our objective is to expand that significantly to developers over time for their platforms and to enable the scale of this service in the future.
Absolutely.
And as part of this trial, we're putting the latest and greatest stuff out there. And you'll have access to our latest technologies, 4th gen Intel Xeon, also known as Sapphire Rapids, to Habana Labs Gaudi 2, right, to our advances in IPUs and our NEX technologies. And this is just the beginning, and you'll get updated this week on the full set of things because we want developers to have access to the latest and greatest.
Oh, awesome. And I know that there's a lot of AI developer kits, software kits, reference implementations out there for developers to get their hands on and use right away. So, yeah.
So today, what I want to do here, Ria, if you're okay with this, we're going to set up a handful of challenges, and you're going to help me solve those challenges today. And along this journey, we're going to meet a few other technologists, then we're going to tap into the open ecosystem, choose the right tools, and we're going to use it to build responsible solutions to today's problems. So, you game?
Absolutely. Let's get started.
So, our first challenge, speed up development cycles. And one of the great debates over the history of technology has been this open versus closed, proprietary, protected gardens versus the open marketplace. And since the days of Grove and Gates and Jobs, this has been pervading the industry. And we believe that this idea of the persistent, expensive, closed environments, we are the champion of that open marketplace, and we are back. So John from our demo team is here to help us talk a little bit more about this challenge.
All right, awesome. Great to meet you, John.
Thanks, Pat and Maria. So the challenge is really speeding up development cycles, and I have a tool that I think can help us with that. The Neural Coder, which is a new feature of the Intel Neural Compressor, is a one-click, no-code solution that removes hard-coded CUDA references from our deep learning scripts. It optimizes those scripts for performance, and it benchmarks those optimizations for the best possible deployment options. Let's take a look at how easy this really is. So on the screen, you can see we have an image classification workload running. We're going about 300 frames per second with that. Ria, you want to try the Neural Coder and see what kind of impact it can have?
Absolutely. So all I'm going to do here is go ahead and click the run button and confirm, and is it that simple?
So that was pretty simple, right? Let's take a look at the Neural Coder output. So the Neural Coder has now optimized our deep learning model from FP32 to Int8. And it's really leveraging the Xeon Scalable processor with Intel Advanced Matrix extensions.
That's fantastic. So what's going on with the performance?
Yeah, so let's take a look at the image classification workload again. We're now running at about 3,000 frames per second, which is a 10.8x speed up, really leveraging that built-in acceleration with the Xeon Scalable processors.
That's looking good, John.
10 times the speed in previous generation. Wow.
All right, perfect. So I'm wondering here then, with this type of one-click optimization, everything's good to go and all easy to use.
Yeah,
Perfect.
so maybe we can start talking about security now?
All right.
Well, one of the things is that, security, right, enables the, ability for us, right, to protect our models, to protect our data. And with that, how can we make sure all this model work that we do is actually useful and the data protected around it? So can you solve that problem for us, John?
Yeah, let's take a look at this over here. Let's make security a little bit more simple. So confidential computing with Intel SGX protects your data in use. And here we've downloaded a curated container, and we're going to leverage the Grameen Library OS project, which with a simple script and answering a few prompts, you can protect your data in use. So you want to give this one a shot?
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so this is another one of those one clicks. Going to go ahead and click here and cycle through these defaults.
Answer a few prompts here.
Right. Says it's being created.
Awesome. So all this data that we were using over here, you can now see on the screen that we've protected that data.
Amazing. So this is confidential computing. My container is SGX enabled. I've got protections for my data, and I'm all set when it comes to that.
Great. Optimizations and security.
All right.
So, very good. It's great to see that we're starting to get real traction from the open source community to take advantage of these confidential computing capabilities.
It's just an extension.
We're working to enable a holistic view of confidential computing. In Project Amber, which we'll talk about tomorrow, a third-party trusted attestation service, which Greg will talk about. So we saw the full pipeline today, right, coming to place, right? What we're doing with AMX as part of our Intel 4th Gen Xeon to accelerate, right, on the CPU as well as on GPUs, the capability, right, making it, complete and protected with SGX, but we're also working on tomorrow with TDX, our trusted domain extensions, which will additionally provide secure enclave at the VM level without requiring application change. So this helps everyone to have more trust in their AI and in their data. So, Ria, I think we've covered, and we can call this one complete in our challenger. Okay. So let's get to our second challenge of the day. So we saw that we can do them faster, but how do we make them more relevant to the marketplace, these AI models that we're doing, and advanced, without requiring an advanced degree in AI modeling? Do you think we can do that?
Absolutely. Let's go for it.
So for this demo, we're going to come over here to this side, and joining us on stage is Giannis from our computer vision and AI team. So, Giannis?
Thank you.
So, today we're going to talk about AI model development. And this is still a very slow and expensive process. Even then, only a fraction of the models make it to production. Why is that? There are several reasons, but the main reason we see is that domain experts are left out of the loop. So when we hand the model over to them, it may have drifted, making it unusable.
Oh, absolutely. I've seen these issues all the time: accuracy drift, poor inferencing quality, and then there's also problems with the outputs of AI systems. And I'd also like to see a lot more collaboration between domain experts and data scientists, really drive those collaborations, get to higher quality models faster. So you have a solution here for me?
I have good news for you.
Okay.
Intel has built an intuitive computer vision platform.
شباب انا بدي 5 دقائق 10 دقائق وبرجع لكم. بخلي الفيديو شغال، مضطر اني اصلي العشاء وبرجع لكم. اوكي.
This is the image of a coffee plant, which is behind the $400 billion industry.
Well, coffee's pretty important to me, right? Enough coffee, all things are possible, Giannis.
Yes, and we say developers turn caffeine into code. So, we want to help those coffee farmers to use AI to build models that can predict the maturity of the crop. This way, they can maximize the yield. So let me show you how you can build a computer vision model to do that. So we have this project here, and I have already uploaded some images. So let's go and open it.
All right. So a question here. I can only see a couple of images, but in a typical computer vision workflow, we'd probably need tens of thousands of images for this step.
Well, that's a thing of the past. With this software, we are using a technology called active learning to drastically reduce the amount of training data that the system needs to train. So let me go ahead and open this image here. And I will select one of our annotation tools, and I will draw a bounding box with my stylus around this yellow fruit, which is immature, this orange one, which is semi-mature, and this red one, which is mature. And when I submit those annotations together with some other annotations we did earlier on, the system will start a new training round.
All right, perfect. So what happens after training?
Well, it's going to take a few minutes for the training to complete. So for now, I have already created a project. And I will go and open a previously unseen image. Let's do that. What do you think, Ria?
Okay, this model's doing really well on this image. I am seeing a couple of erroneous and misdetections, though.
You're right. You can improve this model by correcting those misdetections. So would you like to try out?
All right, on the fly. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to start with deleting this little leaf annotation, and then I'm going to go ahead and navigate to the quick selection tool. This one looks over mature, and this one looks mature to me. All right,
You're
I'm
a
done.
coffee farmer already, Ria, or an AI expert. Which is it? I'm not sure.
Probably the AI expert but yeah, I mean, I definitely need that type of expertise though to be able to do this type of labeling, but this is how we can get them in the loop and then make sure that we converge to better models quickly and faster, so right?
Yes, and the most important part is that once your model is trained, it can be optimized with OpenVINO and deployed across different types of hardware at the edge or in your data centers.
Amazing. Pat, I love this technology.
Well, Giannis, thank you for joining us and showing off. This is incredible progress.
Thank you.
Thanks to the team. Thank you.
And it's a real demonstration of how Intel is building practical, useful ways to deploy AI. And today, we are launching Intel Getty, powerful AI for everyone. And what you've seen here is this new computer vision platform lets anyone in the enterprise teams build computer vision models rapidly. I mean, quite amazing. Big data, oh no, we can do it with small training workloads. And this is now commercially available in Q4 of this year, enabling enterprises to digitally transform and mainstream AI easily into their operations. A true breakthrough. Aren't you excited? Okay, there we go. So now we have how we create the AI models, but of course then our deployment of AI. And this is where OpenVINO has been extremely well accepted by the community and running on this range of Intel hardwares, a fast deployment, creation, deployment to complement Intel Getty. Hundreds of thousands of developers using OpenVINO today. And we have an in-market example to show you here today. Please join me in welcoming VP of Operations of Precitaste, a Vision AI food management platform, Hauke Feddersen. Hauke?
Hey, Ria. Hey, Pat. I hope you're hungry because the next live demonstration will take us into a restaurant.
Ooh, okay.
We help professional kitchen crews by eliminating manual estimation tasks. Our valued customer, Chipotle, focuses on enhancing the customer and the crew experience. Vision AI tells them how much inventory they have at hand and what to cook when to always serve the freshest food and to never stock out. All of this is running on the edge in the restaurant on small form factor edge devices like that one. We chose OpenVINO because other companies' inference-only edge solutions always just focused on the inference and neglected the CPU-intensive workloads that we need to run in the background, like databases.
Okay, that sounds great. So one of the first problems, though, that I'm encountering, and I'm thinking about that you may have experienced as well, is how do you know how much compute you need and whether or not to use the Intel CPU or the GPU?
Great question. OpenVINO opens up a huge variety of devices for us to choose from. When we pick a device, we benchmark it to verify that it has enough performance for this and future use cases, and then we deploy it. Then it's actually the auto-optimization plugin in OpenVINO that makes the decision whether to run our model on the CPU or on the integrated GPU. And the best part is, with each generational upgrade, our customers get so much more performance out of one edge device. The generational jump from Gen 11 to Gen 12 took us one afternoon, and it resulted in 30% more frames per second for our application.
Amazing.
Well, hold that thought. I mean, that's pretty powerful, right? So essentially, OpenVINO allows you to not worry about the underlying hardware, right, and allows you to be, taking, advantage of these capabilities. It's like having a world-class performance engineer standing by your side as you're deploying.
Absolutely. Let's see it in action. In the restaurant, we have those Intel RealSense cameras mounted above the make lines, seeing the food in real time all the time. And we use the OpenVINO to detect the corners of each of those pans for a dynamic region of interest. Then we use OpenVINO to classify the ingredients to know what we're looking at, and we use the stereo sensing from the RealSense to tell us how much we're looking at.
شو دخل الشواية هذه؟ What is this?
Part of a workflow. So how is OpenVINO helping you here with this much compute?
we're running multiple applications on just very few of these edge devices in the restaurant, from what to cook when, to digital prep, to freshness monitoring, and order accuracy verification. For that, we need tracking performance. And careful quantization, and OpenVINO gave us a speed up of 2x. We're now running live inference from 2 vision streams on just one edge device.
All right, so your performance engineer has a question, or your temporary performance engineer. If we switch around those pans, how are the depth sensors going to react?
Let's do it.
Challenge.
If I take out one pan,
all right,
and shuffle them around a bit, we can see that the AI is orienting itself again and knows exactly how much food is available. And if I start serving this delicious salsa, dig in.
I like salsa.
The inventory depleting, and the crew is being asked to replenish so that the restaurant never stocks out. Chipotle is using this computing one-stop shop to scale their amazing operations. But don't take my word for it. Hear it from Chipotle.
Let's hear it now.
Hey Pat, hey Ria, and every.
طب خليني فرجيني كيف بدهم يسووها على البوفيهات المفتوحة عندنا هنا مثلا يعني. فرجيني كيف بس أنا عندي بس فضول يعني.
Combination of the full Intel architecture and OpenVINO software has alleviated manual tasks for our crew and given managers the tools they need to make informed, in-the-moment decisions. By deploying Intel's RealSense and OpenVINO technology, we created a powerful and versatile AI solution that addresses our unique needs while connecting the entire infrastructure of the kitchen. We're excited with the results we've seen in our test market and are aiming to fully deploy Intel technologies across Chipotle restaurants in a large market in the coming months. I'd like to thank you all, the true creators and innovators in this space, and hope you have a great show.
هذه كويسة للمطاعم الراقية هاي اند ما هي للبوفيهات اللي عندنا هنا. Doesn't make sense.
So we can go there more often.
Absolutely, and with this delicious demo, I can say this challenge is complete.
All right.
All right.
طيب.
So let's move to our next challenge, if you would.
كل هذا لساتني challenge وقت.
So, modern games are complex. They have, interactivity, lifelike graphics.
هي حاجة حنقعد نفهمها احنا يعني.
مثلا. Immersive experience. And these are big, expensive development and production operations to bring them to market. This is a lot of work to get done. And to talk about that, I've invited on stage today a world-class game developer, Inflection Games, right, who's striving to bring a realistic, immersive gaming environments onto the PC. Please help me in welcoming Sarah Mainwaring to the stage.
هلا الحقيقة ستظهر.
Hi, Ria. Good to see you.
Thank you.
All right. So I'm from Inflection Games, and we are creating Nightingale, which is an online multiplayer survival crafting game. And when we're working with a multiplayer game that's online, we get networking bugs. And these can really tie up our development schedules when we try and debug them. And whilst we're very good at doing this, sometimes we don't have any shortcuts. So when we are doing our debugging for these issues, we are connecting multiple clients on a single machine in the editor, usually with a test level. And so here's the test level I wanted to show you today.
Oh, that's beautiful. Looks immersive. Am I hearing birds?
There is a little bit of birds coming out, yeah. And so this isn't the usual test level that I would use to debug anything in. This is a real Nightingale player level running in Unreal Engine 5 on this rig. And usually we would be working in a test level that's very small, contained, very empty, so that we can really drill down to what the problem is. But sometimes that's not possible. Sometimes there is a bug or an issue which only shows up in player-facing levels. And then we run into problems because we have to run these very high-fidelity, dense levels directly on our work machines on a game which is only optimized to run one client on one machine at any one time without the editor even attached.
Absolutely.
And so you can see that we've got some pretty good performance going on here. It's really nice and smooth. It's looking real beautiful. And on my workstation, back at work,
30 FPS.
this would be what we would be getting in the editor. But we wouldn't be able to connect more than one, maybe two clients before the frame rate just drops off. But on this wonderful workspace, we've not only got one going, excuse me, give it a little punch there. No problem. Oh, no. Sorry, my keyboard is not working.
كنت عارف والله كنت عارف إن
Yeah, no worries. Let's see what I can do.
كنت عارف إنه في شيء غلط هيصير كنت عارف.
Yep, my keyboard is not working. Unfortunately, so I don't have to.
شوف اليوز بي مشبوك نعمل ترابل شوتنج معها. والله كنت عارف.
Okay, so we're switching over to some backup images, but you'll see.
بعدين
So we'll
بعدين.
switch over to some images.
It's real.
It's real, yeah. It's
Right.
development problems.
I
So what you can see
think,
here,
Sarah, we found the bug.
yeah, we found the bug.
Okay, good.
But what you can see here is that
There we go.
we are running 4 of these instances all at the same time with the same frame rate. And it performs wonderfully. And actually in back, when I had a bit of downtime, I tried 8. And I was able to run 8 of our game instances, which are only optimized for a single on the client at any one time. And yeah, just really impressive tech.
Absolutely. I think peripherals aside, this is exactly what we're starting to get into. Game development's just going to get better and better. And Sarah, to your point, to highlight a cool feature here, I think hybrid architecture is definitely what developers can use here to make their lives much more easier. You can hide the windows that you don't really need so that your OS and your different platforms and applications are able to take advantage of what they do need in the front view and hide or put away the stuff that you don't. But
Yeah.
it's a beautiful test environment and it's a beautiful use case.
And being able to connect 4, 8, however many we try to do clients at the same time just speeds up our ability to debug and get to these nitty-gritty problems that are only showing up for our players. So it's a big deal for us to use Intel's technology for this.
Absolutely, and definitely as part of that hybrid architecture, performance and efficient cores or P&E cores, that's definitely going to come in handy for these types of tasks.
Yeah, and this is in editor, and we've prepared a little bit of footage to see what Intel technology is giving Nightingale outside of the editor. Can we run the footage?
Let's see it.
We're going to roll it.
حطوا اسم اللعبة في زاوية معينة يا أخي أنا مش عارف شو هاي اللعبة نايتنجيل شو نايتنجيل طبعا اكتبها نايتنجيل اوكي لعبة مبنية على معالجات انتل هذه قلت لكم انا قبل عليك اللعبات زي هاي
Having a jump scare, but I am so excited to be able to play that.
Yeah, we look forward to you all getting to get to try it soon, hopefully.
All right, thank you, Sarah. This was awesome.
Thank you, Sarah, for joining us. Exciting accomplishment with the game coming out, and can't wait because I know end users love it. Our platforms want to consume it and deliver it, and we're committed to making all this real. Thank you so much, Sarah.
Thank you, Pat. Thank you, Ria.
Thank you.
And as you just saw, the future of gaming and
جادة كدوري جايب مرته.
experiences like that relies on performant CPUs and GPUs. And with that, today I am thrilled to reveal
أخيراً
the
أخيراً
13th Gen Intel Core desktop processor family.
13900 كي أخيراً finally اللحظة اللي كنا نستناها
Formerly known as
أيوة
Raptor Lake, the flagship i9 13900K is coming next month. This is the fastest, best desktop processor ever built in history.
Wow,
And it takes
okay.
advantage of our hybrid architecture, both E and P cores. You know, we've enhanced the P core so it has the best single-threaded performance ever, more L2 and L3 cache. We've also increased the number and improved the E core capabilities for compute-intensive workloads and workflows. Together, the E and P cores work together in a hybrid architecture to deliver the best multi-threaded performance. It has blazing clock speeds of up to 5.8 gigahertz, and the i3 13900K is the best gaming, streaming, and recording experience ever.
Nice. أخيراً.
But make no mistake, it's the best CPU, but it's also the best platform. And our core processors deliver on the platform value propositions, state-of-the-art wireless, connectivity, advances in memory technology. As always, we are building and leading open
مرفعين
platforms
السرعة
in the
القاعدية تاعتهم.
industry. And whether you're a beginner or an expert, the Intel 13th Gen Core delivers the world's best overclocking experience as well.
Nice.
And early next year, we'll release a SKU that for the first time ever hits 6 gigahertz out of the box in limited volumes.
لا قوية هاي.
An industry first, a huge milestone for client computing. And I remember, just like it was yesterday, when we first crossed 1 gigahertz. Man, you all are blowing me away. 6 gigahertz, what a milestone. Congratulations to our team. But of course, we're not stopping with the K SKU. We're going to give you the full range of PC segments, including mobile. And we expect over 50 processors as part of the Raptor Lake i9 family, or the 13th Gen family. And we have over 500 13th Gen designs.
I'm back, and I think we should definitely get Hawk at that version.
Yes, I think so. Our game is definitely going to take advantage of this. And given the sheer power and unique hybrid architecture that comes with the 13th Gen processors, I think we can say with confidence the gaming challenge is complete, Rhea.
All right. Thank you.
So let's move into our fourth challenge, and this one's for content creators that need
صناع
a
المحتوى.
creative boost.
All right, let's do it.
So I think we need to commemorate our time together today, Rhea. And with that, why don't we do a movie poster?
Okay.
Right? Pat and Rhea's greatest hits kind of poster. And have you ever seen any of the text-to-image creative platforms?
Well, I've definitely seen it. I could even say you're asking the master. I have tried so many different stable diffusion models. It's constantly growing, but definitely something that only advanced deep learning enthusiasts can get their hands on. Very hard for content creators to be able to use that technology right away.
Okay, well, AI is unleashing this wide array of new opportunities for the creative process. And John is back on stage to show us some amazing technologies from Habana Labs using Gaudi 2. And maybe we can help create our movie poster, John?
Let's do it. So you mentioned text-to-image conversion, and we're running a latent diffusion model on our Gaudi 2 deep learning accelerator. Pat, Rhea, you want to start the creative process?
Well, how about movie poster?
All right, I'm doing it. The stakes are high.
So the Gaudi 2 is generating 16 images here in just under 3.5 seconds.
Fantastic.
Okay, well, we're going to go a little bit further. What do you think, Rhea?
Absolutely. Let's do superhero
Okay.
poster on the fly. Gonna type this out here. Let's see.
I am impressed, by the way.
Okay, that looks better. Okay.
All right.
So, what do you think? Should we take it a little further?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do something a little bit more.
Complex.
So
أعطينا
maybe,
complex.
Male and female superhero movie?
Yep, absolutely. In this style.
أنا باجي بحكي لكم ليش هذا مهم.
And that's going to give us a
Wow.
couple of cool images that the model is trying to generate pretty much real time.
All right. I think we're looking pretty good here, John. What do you think, Rhea?
I think it's great. The speed is phenomenal. It's giving me a lot of inspiration for different ideas that I can use. Definitely some improvements, but yeah. I think
I'm
it looks
impressed,
great
by
to
the
me,
way.
John. Thank you.
Yeah, I can't wait to see designers use this and speed their creativity.
Absolutely.
And, John, I think what we've seen here is the incredible power of the next generation Gaudi processor. And here I have the Gaudi 2 accelerator. This product comfortably outperforms the A100, ResNet 50, BERT models, the June publication this year of the MLPerf benchmarks. And this model we're running is latent diffusion on PyTorch. So what do you think, Rhea?
Absolutely. Those words, the machine learning models, they bring joy. So I think this is fun. We're definitely done with this challenge and looking forward to seeing what comes next.
Okay, this challenge complete.
اوكي فيري انترستنج على فكره. انا بحكي لكم انا بس اخلص شو الملخص يعني.
I think that was a great challenge, but I'm also encountering a little bit of a difficulty, Pat. So something that I really struggle with is you need a lot of devices in order to be able to do this type of content creation and being able to, train your deep learning models, and those devices don't even talk to each other.
So, I think, Ria, that sounds like a good challenge to me that we can attack this morning.
All right.
And with Centrino, integrated Wi-Fi, we created an industry. And 2-in-1s and convertibles, we've just been driving these unique experiences throughout our history. So we start with people, what do they want, and design solutions for them.
Okay, perfect. So here's what I want. Maybe there's a solution out there for me. I need a solution to having to lug around my very large monitor all the time.
Okay, so, right, making it a lot easier. And, I was in Korea a little while ago, and when I was there with our partner Samsung, they showed me a technology that I think might just solve that problem. And I'm delighted to welcome the CEO of Samsung Display, J.S. Choi, to stage.
Hey.
Thank you.
So I saw this prototype when I was on a trip to South Korea, and I instantly saw the potential for our platform. And I just wanted to let everybody geek out a bit with JS, Ria, and I. So JS, what do you got here?
Yeah, it's great to be here. So this is a small PC, right? But sometimes we need a bigger screen. So let's see. I'll show you the magic.
العب هذه بس بالافلام بتشوفها.
All right, I want to try. Phenomenal.
هذه بس بالافلام بحكي لك.
This shows one of the great example of future trend of PCs. It's because I'm here today to demonstrate this demo. It's very important for Samsung Display to collaborate between ecosystem developers in hardware and software together to achieve this kind of innovative form factor PCs for best user scenarios. So let me have this one.
هاي فكرة هذه قنبلة هذه.
We announced world first 17-inch slidable display for PC globally for the first time.
Thank you.
واو. أوه. لا عاد هاي خوية هذه.
This device will satisfy Ria's need for larger screen and also its portability as well.
طبعا.
With flexible display, we implemented sliding technology rather than foldable. Foldable is gone, but it's just beginning, right? So
صح. Foldable is gone.
Slidable flex and software collaborations. We expect to see better and best user scenarios of PC near future.
JS, thank you for joining us here, right? And as the leading provider of OLED technologies, as many decades of partnership, this just convinces me we got a lot more coming between us. Thank you for joining us, JS.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ria.
And I'm assuming I can keep it.
And again, continuing new form factors, we create new SDKs to enable those and find new experiences for our customers and community. And speaking of which, earlier this year at the CES show, we announced our acquisition of Screenovate. And this is, now coming forward as Intel Unison. And to show an example of Intel Unison, please join our demo geek, Craig, coming to stage. Craig?
Hello, Ria.
Hello.
How you guys doing today?
Doing great.
So, I'm here to show you off some amazing things that we're going to be doing with Unison.
Okay.
But for the first item, might as well pair some of this amazing software that we have in Unison, with some of this amazing hardware from Samsung Display. Okay, beautiful. But really, what we're saying with Unison and the promise of Unison is to bring all of our devices together, regardless of ecosystem or how they move and how they interact. All of our smart devices Again, really working for us in the way that we want to. And just like you said, Pat, with Intel, we're trying to solve the world's largest problems. Well, Pat and Ria, I have a lot of problems. So not those type of problems, device problems. So similar, so something like this, I have my great little Evo PC here, and with just a quick, nice little tap, I'm gonna go ahead and send it on over to my display. Oh, let's see here.
هذا وايرلس شو اسمه وايرلس ديسبلاي من تقنية انتل اسمها اللي هي واي جي اظن اسمها هذه.
And I've extended my display to this nice little 13 to 17-inch device, which helps me with a lot of my problems. I like to have a secondary screen for a lot of road warriors
wireless
like us.
display
And so
بدون بطارية بدون كابل.
that I have in my backpack.
أنا والله بدي حاجة زي هيك هذه مطلوبة.
No back problems, no TSA.
So you're telling me that could I connect like my iPhone to the device or?
Ria, that's exactly what I'm telling you.
All right.
All of your devices. That includes iOS, an Android device like this, all working together for the first time with our Windows PC. So, Ria, your iPhone will be singing and dancing and playing with your Windows PC. Never lose focus. Get all of your notifications, all of your emails, all of your texts, and be able to bring that vision. And that's the dream, right, guys? All of our devices working for us, and we're here to bring that dream to you with Unison.
Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you, Craig.
Thank you, guys.
You know, an Intel Unison is a new software solution promoting this open ecosystem approach, solving Ria's problem, right? You know, but also enabling the iPhone for the first time, interacting seamlessly with the PC, all our iOS, Android devices, and coming with new laptops this holiday season from our partners at Acer, HP, and Lenovo. And this is just the beginning of what we're going to be enabling with Intel Unison. So what do you think, Ria?
Absolutely. It's astonishing technology. You didn't say no when I asked if I could keep it, so I'm making some assumptions. But I would say that this challenge is complete.
All right.
Thank you.
You know, and our final challenge of the morning, sometimes the biggest challenges we face, technologies at the pace of change. And we can invent these innovations, but is the market ready for them? And sometimes the technology isn't ready for the market. And for instance, my passion for silicon photonics. And, you know,
well, our vision is to fully enable our chips with optical capabilities.
Someone in trouble.
Our processors today, a piece of silicon, a piece of optics fiber going directly into that. The result of that
someone in trouble.
Much higher bandwidth, much higher communications capabilities at dramatically lower costs. Today, optics is a niche technology. Tomorrow, it's the mainstream of every chip that we build.
That was a video of me 2 decades ago predicting this moment.
Right? And that was the year I was born?
Oh, really? You are killing me. You are killing me. And sometimes innovation takes a little bit longer than we want. You know, sometimes a decade to make a week of progress, sometimes a week to make a decade of progress.
Absolutely. I love that quote. And I understand it takes a lot of hard work and talent to make these ideas into reality.
Yeah, and at Intel, we invest for the long term. You know, we know that optics, this dramatic amount of bandwidth, you know, moving from photons to electrons, crossing the optical electrical boundary, this was hard. And bringing light and bandwidth and low power right up to the package, and then scaling it for the industry to participate in it. So here we are, and we can now show this breakthrough. Our engineering team has done it, and they've built a detachable optical in-package connector coming directly into a glass substrate. Let's go live to our lab in Scotland and take a look to show it for the very first time. Russell?
Hi, Pat. Hi, Ria. Welcome innovation to Scotland. So what we're going to do today is, yeah, thanks everybody. So what we have behind us is test and measurement system where we're going to test that detachable connector. So we have on the left-hand side power meter. So what you're going to see is the power should flick up to the right-hand side. You'll see the needle in the power meter. On the right-hand side, the signal will go from red to green. as we make the connection directly to the package with our detachable connector. So what you can see here with John, we have the demo unit here. We have a silicon photonic package. We have optical fiber that runs up through the connector. It's a very small form factor detachable connector. And we're going to measure the light that comes in and out of the silicon photonics chip with this setup, okay? So, first time we've done this live, obviously, so John's going to make the connection now. Keep an eye on the screen. You'll be able to see the numbers as we make the connection. So here we go. So we got power coming into directly the silicon photonic package. The green signal, that means we're measuring light all the way through the package. But we have to show that it's also detachable. So we're going to detach it, reattach it again, and we'll be able to show that here now live. Okay, John. So there we go, we detached it, signal's dropped off, reattaching it, and now the signal's jumping back up again. Okay? So great result, everybody.
Hey, Russell and team, thank you so much. This is exactly how I dreamed of it decades ago, and you guys are now delivering it. Thank you. Congratulations to our team in Scotland.
Thank you.
Okay.
Can't believe I get to be part of this history-making moment.
Indeed, indeed. So, Ria, thank you for joining me on this journey. In 30 years, when you're on stage as the CEO, remember to continue to pass on the shared passion that we have for the world of technology and the enormous positive tech for good impact that it can have.
Oh, absolutely, Pat. And I think on behalf of developers everywhere, we're ready to get these technologies running, working for our workflows, optimized, accelerated, and changing the world.
So maybe a memento for you. Let's sign our poster here that we did.
Okay.
Grab your pen there, and you and I are going to sign it, and we're going to send you off here, right? This first superhero moment, right?
Gonna add a smiley.
All right. There we go. Let's say thank you to Ria for joining us.
Thank you all. Thank you, Pat.
So throughout our time together this morning, we've talked about our commitment to being open, systems and software and hardware standards. And our collective potential as an industry is unleashed when we enable openness, choice, and trust. So to close out, I want to bring on stage a special guest, someone that I have personally admired for decades, a no bigger champion of open collaborative ecosystems, the godfather of the open source movement, the creator of Linux kernel and of Git. Please join me in welcoming none other than Linus Torvalds.
المكرش الفرق كان هيك.
Linus, it is so great to have you at Intel Innovation. We've both been around the industry a few years.
Yep.
And you remember this?
I do remember that. I lost my own copy a few years ago, apparently.
Well, today we are fixing that. I've signed this for you here.
Thanks.
And when I wrote this book, it was the Bible for the 83, 86, and this was really your beginning.
Literally, this was the thing I used on the project that wasn't Linux yet. Before I actually started doing an operating system, I was really just trying to learn about the new PC I'd bought. And this was the CPU side of that journey, right? And it took a while to learn the CPU and realize that what I'm actually writing is an operating system. So this, in a sense, predates my Linux work, but was very integral to it.
Yeah, and maybe you could just take us back to 1991 when you were first getting started on the project, and tell us a little bit about that.
يا أيام السايركس.
So it's hard to even think back now because it was different for me. I came from a home PC kind of background and did not know the x86 architecture at all, but decided that this was the way to do it, and bought my first 386 and couldn't afford the commercial Unixes I wanted. And
So you were cheap.
I was cheap.
Or broke.
No, I prefer the word poor.
Poor, okay.
And I'd grown up with computers since I was about 11 and was used to just writing my own projects. So the fact that I could not afford Unix myself, and I had this shiny new PC, and I had been exploring the CPU side of it, and because the 386 has the task switching hardware built in, it had been one of the things I'd been exploring. And when you do task switching and do all the low-level grotty paging details that this book literally goes through and explains, you kind of end up with a project that is the beginning of a kernel.
Yeah, looks like an operating system. Yeah. So here we are today. Tell us, what are the must-dos for a thriving open source ecosystem?
I think the must-do, one thing I really strive for is to make sure that people feel like they are part of, I don't want to say the community. I mean, it is part of the community, but they're part of making decisions, and they really own the end result.
Invested in it.
They're invested in it. And it's obviously why I chose the license I chose, making sure that I don't have any special rights. And I really love open source. I love working in a community where it's about open discussion and really getting things done together. And that's actually surprising to me, even now, because I always, and I still feel that I'm not a people person. But at the same time...
I've heard that criticism of you.
Yeah, no, I'm not the only one who thinks I'm not a people person. But at the same time, it's been what has really motivated me for the last 30 plus years.
So let's go forward, 10, 20 years. What's your vision for open source in the future?
Yeah, no, this is not me. I'm not a visionary. I call myself a plodding engineer.
Plodding engineer.
And I say that with pride. I think you need the people who have the big ideas, but you definitely, in engineering, a lot of it is getting all the small details right and looking at in front of your feet instead of looking 20 years out. So I look a couple of releases ahead, and I kind of have a notion of what's coming, but my horizon is about 6 months away, not 20 years away.
Okay, so I'd like to introduce you to Linus Torvalds, my favorite plodding engineer.
Thank you, Pat.
Your career, your impact, the industry that you've affected is nothing short of spectacular, Linus. And you and I, we're not finished yet. We got a lot of time in front of us yet. But we'll be realizing the impact of your contributions for many, many years to come. And it's with that in mind that today we are honored to give you and recognize you and our community as we come here together, right? We would like to say that you are the first recipient of the first ever Intel Innovation Award.
راجل محترم بيستاهل. يستاهل كل الشكر والتقدير عن جد.
Thank you, Pat.
يستاهل، تعب كثير على لينوكس وقدمها فري للكل. الله يستاهل.
That is actually very nice and classy. we had a water bottle as a stand-in yesterday during the rehearsal.
This was a little nicer, right?
Which wasn't so nice and classy.
And while I was absolutely thrilled to have this conversation with Linus and I this morning, we recorded a long interview yesterday. We'll be posting that on our website. And truly, I couldn't think of a more honoring person for an open community than Linus Torvalds. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Pat.
هذا راجل ما تنسوش، هذا راجل اللي أعطى لينكس مجانا للكل، تنساش.
We've had an incredible morning together, but this is just the beginning. We're just getting started. In the next 2 days, labs, demos, show floor, cool, geeky things that we're going to do. I encourage you to sign up for the Developer Cloud, download our One API toolkit, and engage with us, because our objective here is that developers, whether software or hardware, you see the future, and our job at Intel is to open that future up to you, working together on open frameworks that you can trust. I'm excited we've had the opportunity to come together, to learn, grow, build, challenge, and help each other. And together, we've taken a peek into the future, one that we will create together. Thank you.
واو. هو الصراحة أحكي لكم إياه، وين معلق خلص أعلنوا عليها يا أبو فيصل، خلاص أعلنوا عليها. هلا باجي بحكي لك التفاصيل كلها مكتوبة عندي هنا. دقيقة بس، أنا حاسس إنه في شوية لاج على الكاميرا، أعتقد يعني إنه there's something need to fix here. بعدين there we go. بس طبعا الكلام هذا خلص بعد هيك closing up 3 minutes 2 minutes then done. هلا باجي بحكي لك يا بروفيسور، ولا همك امورك طيبه. هلا نبدا بالشغلات بس عشان احكي لكم اياها صراحه. الاول شيء اللي صار حاجه حلوه فكره، يعني كان فكره انه يحطوا جيمنج تشالنج او ديفلوبر تشالنج، بحيث انه يعطي انه نوعا ما من الانتراكشن بين الجمهور والناس عشان يعرفوا انه ويكون عندهم ضلوا في فضول في عقلهم. حاجه حلوه هاي نوعا ما من وانت قاعد تيجي تحكي على المسرح، بتخلي الناس تكون في عندها فضول ما تقومش مكانها، يعني ضل عقله شغال شو بدك تسوي نكست، شو بدك تسوي نكست. تعرف كيف؟ I think this is really actually good idea. يعني هاي حاجه. بالنسبة اللي قدموها جماعة انتل، قدموا حاجة صراحة شوية يعني نوعا ما اندهشت عليها باي ذا واي. يعني نبدأ بالمعالجات تبعت انتل الجديدة. مش بنتل، خليني نشيك عن مورس لو. لو بتلاحظوا انه مورس لو كاتبين انه 7 4 3 20A 18A. عارفين شو يعني هذا الكلام؟ فاهمين شو يعني هذا الكلام؟ معناته انه المعالجات تبعت انتل حتكون في 7 نانومتر which is already done، بعدين 4 نانومتر which is already done، بعدين في 3 نانومتر which is already يعني somehow been done half of it. بعدين حنتقل من اللي هو 3 نانومتر إلى حاجة اسمها 20A 18A، حاجة different package different level. بس على خاصية المور لو بخلي لك المور لو إلا إلك عشان تفهمها شو بالضبط، أنا كلام طويل عليهم. أما بالنسبة اللي هو يحطوا فكرة إن يجيبوا لك مثلا وين اعطيني حاجه هيك، فكره ان يجيبوا لك مثلا معالج فاضي ما فيش شيء فاضي ويعملوا لك يعني على اساس انه في فتحات يعني انك تيجي تركب لك المعالجات اللي انت اللي بدك اياه، وتكون هذه معالج واحد يعمل لك كل شيء انت اللي بدك اياه وبالتعاون مع جميع الشركات اللي موجوده في العالم. هذه فكره خزعبليه رهيبه جدا. انت بتيجي تحكي هيك عن انه لما تيجي تركب لك موبايل تليفون موبايل بالضبط، انك تفتح بتشوف لوحه الام، ما بتشوف مثلا شريحه مكتوب عليها رام، واحدة تانية عليها السي بي يو، والثالثة عليها تاعت النتورك، والثالثة تاعت الكاميرا، والرابعة مش عارف ايش صح؟ كل هذا موزع على اللوحة. فتخيل كل حكيته انا هذا موجودة في تشيب واحد ومغطى في باكج واحد بس مسكرة، وما في تقدر تعمل اكسس عليها الا بس بورتات كيبلات بورتات هيك. يعني لما تيجي تفتح موبايلك مثلا حتشوف بس في مربع هيك وفي كيبلات مشبوك عليها وتوصيلات وبطارية يعني بس. هذه صراحة حاجة رهيبة جدا. تعرف قديش التخفيض في التصميم هذا حيكون شيء كتير كبير، ما هي قليلة. بس it's really impressive by the way. هاي بحكي لك واحدة من أمثلة اللي ممكن الباكجينج اللي هي بسموها Universal Circuit Integrated Electronic حاجة زي whatever اسمها UCIe. I am impressed by the way and I hope خلينا نشوفها كيف بالسوق في المستقبل. يعني فكرة انتل فكرة قوية جدا هذه بالنسبة للفئة هاي. اما بالنسبه للفليكس جي بي يو تاع الداتا سنتر ماشي حالة عند داتا سنتر، هم هيهتموا في المواضيع هذه، انا ما لي في التعمق في المواضيع هاي. ولكن اللي همني في الموضوع هاي لما نطق كلمه زيون سافاير رابيد اللي هي انا انبسطت عليها. حتستغرب ليش انبسطت عليها. شوفي المعالج الموجود معايا هذه اللي هي من تحت الروكت ليك اي هذه او سكاي ليك اي وات ايفر، التطور اللي بعدها اللي هي سافاير رابيد. اي نعم هذا التطور تبعه يعني اساسا انه سكسسر، الا وهي هذه المعالجات اللي هي بتستوعب اللي هي كواد شانل DDR5 او تكنيكلي يعني، لكن انه لو تيجي تركبه حيبين عندك على الويندوز انه هكسا. لا هكسا صح؟ لا اوكتا كور اوكتا شانلز يعني 8. يعني 8 قنوات هيك حيبينها في الويندوز او السي بي يو كيف حيقرأ هي بهالطريقه هاي. وهي حاجه ما هي قليله، دير بالكم ما تستخفوا في الموضوع هاي. الموضوع هذه كتير قويه، وصراحه انا مستني المعالجات هذه تنزل تحت السفاير ليك، لانه هذا التطور اللي حيكون جاي خلال السنه القادمه. متى بالضبط؟ مفروض انا سبق وقلت لكم الموضوع هذا تاجل، المفروض انه تنزل على هاي السنه، على اخر سنه هاي واحنا بنحكي فيها حاليا هلا. بس انتل اعلنتها بشكل سطحي، والمعالجات هذه المفروض تكون متوفره خلال اللي هو منتصف، اعتقد يعني في الربع الثاني، ما هي في الربع الاول، في الربع الثاني، سمر في الربع الثاني من العام القادم. هلا تيجي طب انا شو استفيد من الموضوع؟ تستفيد انه انا المعالج اللي امبارح نزلته فيديو على التيك توك وعلى التواصل الاجتماعي لو بتتابعوه، المعالج هذا قدر يصمد 3 سنوات على بعضه بدون ما يجي يحكي اي ولا يحكي اخ ولا اي حاجه هيك، انه يصمد قدام حتى جميع المعالجات تبعون انت الجديده هذه يصمد عليها بالكامل كومباين اي ام دي. لما تحط استثمار في مكان الصحيح، انت بتكون عندك جهاز بضله معمر لمده معينه لفئه معينه. هذه هي اليو اس اس، يونيفرسال شيبلت انتركونكت اكسبرس. انتم شايفين هاي اختراع رهيب، هذا اسمه اختراع رهيب، بيرفكت حلو. اما بالنسبه للكروت الشاشه اللي هي A770 اللي حتنزل بتاريخ 12 اكتوبر على سعر $329. هذه 329 دولار، يعني بسعرها سعر الكارت الاركس 6600 اكس تي تقريبا يعني. فالكارت هذا طموحاته اسمعني، الكارت هذا طموحاته يكون منافس على 3060 تي اي بشكل ضخم يعني. اي نعم، وان ينزل يطرح الكارت هذا ويحكي لك انا احسن من 3060 تي اي، تعال خذني واشتريني. هي هذه يقدر تصير يعني لو بالدرهم انا اتوقع ب 1400 1300 درهم بالطريقه هذه. طبعا صدور الكارت الشاشه حتنزل تاريخ اللي هو 12 اكتوبر، وهذا حتكون متوفر في السواق بشكل عام يعني. كم في ديمو انا شفته حلوين على 1920 باي 1080. هذا هو الكارت الشاشه اللي انتم شايفينه هلا امامكم. this one over there here. حلو رهيب، واعتقد انه حيكون مناسب لكل واحد بيحكي لي انا بدي تجميع كمبيوتر رخيصه الثمن ومناسبه وقويه بنفس الوقت يعني. فبدل ما اجي نحكي ارك 6600 اكس تي، انا ممكن اجي احكي خذ لك انتل، لكن قبل ما اجي احكيها لازم اجرب الكرت هذا قبل ما اجي انطق. كثير مهم نيجي نحكي الشغله هذه. بعدين اعلنوا انتل معالجات الجيل الجديد من الفئه الثالثه عشر 13. فالمعالج اللي حيكون اللي كان مسكها بايده واللي هي 13900 كي. هذا المعالج حكينا انه حيكون في L2 وال L3 كاشيه تبعه عالي، وحيكون شغال بسرعه 5800 ميجا هرتز. هذا شغال، بس هل هو سنجل كور ولا اول كورز هذا الله اعلم الى الان. اعتقد الناس اللي عندهم المعالجات هذه هم بيقدروا يقرروا، الناس اللي عندهم ريفيوز او مراجعات يعني. لكن كان مسكها اللي هو الريتيل بوكس اللي هي المفروض انكم تشوفوه في الاسواق يعني. وحكى بنفس الوقت انه المعالجات هذه حتتحمل سرعات الافتراضيه الطبيعيه عادي بكل سهوله بدون اي مشاكل، اللي هي سرعه 5600. لكن ما حكاش شيء على الموضوع ديول شانل ولا كواد شانل، اللي هي كانت احدى الشغلات اللي كانت في قائمه زي ما تقول الكونسيرنز يعني. لكن حكوا حاجه كثير منيحه، حكوا انه في بدايات عام القادم حينزلوا معالج خصوصي اللي هي 13900 كي، حيكون اسمها 6 جيجا هرتز اديشن. اي نعم، هذا المعالج من اوت اوف بوكس تشيله وبتحطه على تبريد مائي عندك اياه، بيشتغل 6000 ميجا هرتز بكل بساطه. اي نعم، بكل بساطه بهالطريقه، سمعتني صح، 6000 بدون ليكويد نيتروجين، بس تبريد مائي عادي او واحد تبريد هوائي. فبدي اشوف، بدنا نشوف كيف المعالجات هذه كيف تكون اداء. التوتر انا بالنسبه لي المعالجات هذه الا وهي درجات الحراره، اتمنى ما تكونش زي معالجات انت اي ام دي الا وهي 95 درجه، كان شيء خرافي على الضغط الهائل يعني. فما بديها تتكرر، ما بدي اشوف على الانتل، اتمنى. لكن هذا الموضوع ما حد بيقدر يقرره الى لما ينزل المعالج وتنزل مراجعات اللي حتشوفوها فيما بعد على سمر نهاية الشهر هذا. أنا عارف متى تحكون التاريخ بس ما بقدر أحكي لكم متى. أما بالنسبة للحاجة اللي هي ال AI Content Creators الصناع المحتوى انتوا شفتوا انه جابوا مجموعه صور عشوائيه وكتبوا على الكودينج انه يغيروا التصميم تبع الصوره يحطوه على اساس انه موفي بوستر او شيء زي هيك، بحيث انه الكمبيوتر ياخذه ويصممها بطريقه العاقله، يعني ارتفيشال انتليجنت، الذكاء الاصطناعي. وهذا بيعتمد على المعالج قديش شو السرعه اللي ممكن يستخدمها عشان يعالج حاجه زي هيك وينفذها. هلا هذه سرعه ريلي امبرسيف باي ذا واي، انا كثير اعجبت في شغله زي هذه. حتى مجموعه صور كثيره مش قليله يعني، وخلصتها خلال عده ثواني، 3 ثواني بكون بالضبط يعني. حاجه زي هذه ان صناع المحتوى لما بدهم يصمموا صوره حلوه ولا شيء زي هيك على البوستر تبعهم كثامنيل للفيديو ولا ثامنيل وصور ايش ولا ايش بيكون، حيقدروا يصمموها في عده ثواني فقط بدل ما يقعدوا ساعه او نصف ساعه. من زمان اول ما طلعت الشغله هذه احكي لكم اياها كانت تمضي بالايام، ما بمزح معكم. اي نعم، انا كنت بشهد الموضوع هذا الكلام يمكن كانت من 10 سنوات. كان في موقع بيحكي لك حط صوره وايش اللي بدك اياه واكتب الكلام تحت، وراجعنا بعد شهر هيك after 30 days come by you will find the photo will be finished هيك like this. واتخذت الموضوع من شهر اصبحت اسبوعين، اسبوع، وعدة ايام، عدة ساعات، وهلا صارت عدة ثواني. تخيل كيف هلا. فهذه الشغلة عشان تيجي تعرفوها في النقطة هاي. اما بالنسبة للحاجة اللي اضافوها اللي هي الشاشة اللي هي سلايدبل فليكس، هذه كانت منتج من منتجات اللي هو سامسونج. المنتج هذا اللي تكون زي تابلت فيها شاشة 13 انش عادية، ومجرد ما تعملها سلايد اصبحت 17 انش بالعرض، وهي حاجة كتير امبرسيف. حاجة انا ما شفتهاش الا بس بالافلام اللي هي الساي فاي، الافلام خيال علمي فقط. فإن تطلع من الخيال العلمي وتصبح في الحقيقة بالطريقة هذه، أنا شايف إنه مستقبل باهر في الموضوع هذا. أي نعم، سمعتني صح، حيكون لها مستقبل باهر جدا، لدرجة إنه هذه ممكن تصير تمسك لك تابلت. شوف اسمعني كيف، ركز الكلام هذا، أتمنى حتكونها مسجل، حراجع لكم عليها بعدين بس تنزل التقنية هذه. حرجع أمسك الفيديو هاي، حتنزل فيما بعد تقنية، حيصير التابلت زي القلم. اي نعم، هيك قلمين مع بعض زر وشتة، حيصير يشدها بالطريقة هذه ويقعد يشتغل فيها زي ما بده، بس يخلص بضبها هيك بعدين بحطها هنا هيك بالطريقة هاي. ركز معي، هذا اللي حيصير اذا انتجوا التابلت بالطريقة هذه. حيكون في تابلت اللي هي تابلت اللي بسموها بن تابلت. ركز معايا، هذا اللي يصير متى؟ في السنوات القادمة حتشوفوها فيما بعد. طبعا انت حاطط المعالج البروسيسور تبعها جوا اللي هو التابلت هذا، اساسا هذا هو الاستعراض تبعه، انه معالجنا موجود على التابلت السلايدبل هذا. وحكى تاعون سامسونج انه الفليب هذا اسقان سلام، احنا خلصنا من الفليب يا جماعه الخير، السلام عليكم. احنا وصلنا على اللي هو شو اسمه سلايدبل فليكس، وكانه حكى لابل يعني خذوا احنا خلصنا من فليكس، وانت لسه اصلا ما سويتوا فليكس اصلا يا ابل، انتوا ما سويتوا اللي هو الفليب. احنا هلا خلصنا من الفليب، رحنا على اللي هو سلايدبل فليكس. شو بدكم نسوي هلا اب هذا تصريح قوي جدا من سامسونج لابل بشكل غير مباشر. ابل المفروض يردوا او يعملوا شغله معينه. فجماعه ابل انتم متاخرين في التكنولوجيا. هذيك احنا عندنا معالجات قويه، انا عندكم معالجات قويه، لكن المميزات الموجوده معاكم يا قديمه، بس تقبلوا الواقع. انا وين وبعدها بصراحه سامسونج حكى اجى واحد جاب التابلت تبعه سوري اللابتوب تبعه، شبك الجهاز تبعه على اللي هو التابلت خلاه زي كأنه وايرلس ديسبلاي مونيتور. اذا كانوا مونيتور وايرلس بيشتغل في البطاريه، بتحطه جنب اللابتوب بس كبس الزر بصير اكستندنج. اي نعم، بدون لا كيبل ولا اي حاجه من هالشغلات هذه. نعم سمعتني صح، يعني انت تعرف الناس بيقولوا انا بدي اشتري لي بورتابل مونيتور، هذا حيكون بورتابل مونيتور وايرلس وبنفس الوقت تابلت بنفس الوقت. سمعتني صح. وهذا الجهاز بنفس الوقت تقدر تشبك فيه حتى تلفوناتك، ايش ما يكون ابل ولا تعون الاندرويد، تابلت تاني او حتى من لابتوب بي سي، يو نيم ات. حاجه كتير منيحه على فكره هاي للناس اللي بتقعد تتنقل بشكل كتير كبير. هذا التقنيه هذه عباره عن جهاز بيكون بلت ان جوا، لازم يكون تقنيه جوا اسمها انتل يونيسون. انتل يونيسون هذه التقنيه اللي بتعمل لك اللي هو الوايرلس اكستندد ديسبلاي بحيث انه يعطي لك الشاشه من شاشه الكمبيوتر بصير عندك شاشتين عادي كانه شاشه عاديه ثاني بس لا كيبل ولا اي حاجه من هدول لا باور كيبل ولا يو اس بي كيبل ولا اي شيء بس على البطاريه تاعت المونيتور هي بتشبك عليها وهذا حاجه رهيبه جدا فكره كثير منيحه للناس اللي بتطلع على البرزنتيشن مثلا بدك تروح البرزنتيشن وتفتح التابلت ممكن تفرجيهم الشاشه هذه التاتش على فكره هي نفس الوقت التاتش تفرجيهم الشاشه الثانيه تفرجيهم هذا البرزنتيشن انت ماسك التابلت بتضب وسكر هيك ناس تحكي وتقعد تحكي لك كلام زي هاي شغله بعدين شغله ثانيه يمكن انتم ما فهمتوا عليها اللي هي اخر حاجه لما جابوا التصوير الى مختبرات انتل اللي موجوده في اسكتلند لما هذول لابسين زي كانوا قاعدين في بدهم يعملوا عمليه وتفر ماسكين معالج وشابكين كيبل عليها وفاصلين دي بي ام يمكن انتم ما فهمتوا ايش بيسوي قاعد هذا شو الريزولت هذا يا شباب معناته انه شفت الاو ان تي عندكم اياه في البيت هذا الاو ان تي اي نعم انما الاو ان تي تشبك الكيبل تبعك من جهاز تاع الفايبر اوبتيك في الحيط هذا بيطلع كيبل ار جي 45 بتروح على كمبيوترك صح وبوصلك سرعه الى 10000 جيجا بت بير سكند نفترض يعني الى ايش رايك قلت لك شيل هذه الكيبل ويكون كيبل اللي هو اللي انت شفته هذه وتصل سرعه عندك يا حوالي يمكن 100 ضعف نعم سمعتني صح بال1 تيراز مش بالجيجا بالتيرا تخيل بس باستخدام الكيبل هاي يعني في المستقبل حنشوف كيبلات متوفره في السوق كيبلات الفايبر اوبتيك هذه كيبل تشبكها بين جهازك الكمبيوتر على الراوتر وحتصل سرعه عندك يا بالتيرا 1 تيرا 2 تيرا هيك هيك بالطريقه سمعتني صح بدون اي تاليف بدون اي خرابيط والعصر الار جي 45 حيبدا ينتهي معنى الكلام اللي بحكيه قاعد انه انتوا شفتوه الديمونستريشن اللي عملوها تاعت الدي بي الباور دي بي هذا كانه اعلان رسمي بدايه نهايه حقبه الار جي 45 اللي احنا عارفينه زدن كمان 10 سنوات حتلاقي تذكروني كمان 10 سنوات خلال 10 سنوات القادمه حتلاقي انه ماذر بورد لو حتقوم نزلت معها اللي هو البورت خاصه لهذه عندك راوتر جديد صار معها البورت هذه بسرعه هذه اي نعم صار عندك شبكات الانترنت الموجوده معك يا رب ادوها يا رب شبكات الانترنت عندكم اياها في المنطقه في الدوله هنا حتصير بدل سرعه 1 جي بي حيصير عندك يا سرعه 1 تيرا او 512 جيجا بت بير سكند هيك حتصير فخلينا نشوف ايش بده يصير يعني هذا هو التقنيات طبعا هذا هو الملخص بالكامل تبع انتل بشكل عام للناس اللي حابه تعرف الموضوع هذا كلياتها in 5 minutes sort of هذه انتل بس البرزنتيشن اللي عملوها انتل صراحه انا عجبت فيها انا عارف انه كان فيه بعض الاخطاء وانا توقعت الاخطاء هذه تصير من البدايه كنت عارف انه رح يصير فيها اخطاء يعني فما في حدا معصوم من الاخطاء هذا شيء طبيعي يعني ما حقعد اركز بالشغلات ما في حدا معصوم من الاخطاء الكمال لوجه الله بالاخر يعني فالفكره انه في منتجات جديده وحاجات جديده نزلوها انا استفدت منها على الاخر 100% وعجبت فيها اتمنى يعني تكونوا تستفيدوا في التكنولوجيا هذه اللي متابعني هنا بتكون فاهم علي الشغلات هذه اللي بحب التقنيه بحب الشغلات هذه اللي بتشوفوه قاعدين هاي حاجات كتير مهمة جدا عشان تعرفوها ما هي مستقبل التقنية مستقبل التقنية أنا هلا سردت لكم إياها في 5 دقائق كملخص من انتل وانتل اللي بيعتبر من رواد اللي هو التقنيات هذه وانبسطت عليها بالتكنولوجيا اللي قدموها واختراع جديد اللي قدموه صراحة كتير قوية ومساندات ودفع وتقنيات جديدة تدفع البنش مارك والاختبارات اللي احنا عارفينها الى مستوى اخر من مستوى اخر جدا وفرق شاسع بشكل مو طبيعي سواء كان عن طريق اللي هو زيون بروسيسورز او على انتل بروسيسور الجيمنج جرافيك كارد كمان اجى اعلانتها انتل واخيرا صرحتها بشكل واضح انها تكون متوفره في تاريخ 12 شهر اكتوبر الشهر الجاي وعلى سعر كتير مناسب على فكره يعني نوعا ما حيكون على سعر تقريبا نفس ال 3060 تي اي او نفس البرفورمانس نوعا ما يعني بدنا نشوف شو الترتيب عليها وبس هذه متى مؤتمر AMD؟ خلص المؤتمر AMD تبع المعالجات. المؤتمر القادم تبع AMD بتاع شوف هلا في عندنا مؤتمر جاي هلا من AMD تبع كروت الشاشة. هلا هي في نوفمبر 3 من نوفمبر، في بعد شهرين من الآن تقريبا أو شهر وأسبوع، حيكون في إصدار معالجات جديدة، كروت شاشة جديدة من AMD حيتم إعلانها بشكل رسمي. هلا إنتل أعلنت معالجاتها بشكل غير مباشر، واعلنت عن كروت الشاشه بشكل مباشر. كرت الشاشه عندهم اعلنتها بتاريخ متى، المعالج حتشوفوه على اخر شهر 10، و AMD ضايلها بس الكروت الشاشه اللي حيتم اعلانها في شهر في نوفمبر 3 من نوفمبر. تمام. فالبث القادم حيكون اللي حجز فيه انطلاقات حيكون على معالجة انتل على اخر شهر 10. يعطيكم العافيه شباب، اتمنى تكونوا استمتعتوا. يعني الحاجات اللي انا بسويها حاجات قويه شوي شباب. اي واحد حابب القناه لا تنسوا تضغطوا على زر اللايك وسبسكرايب، تفعيل جرس التنبيه، كل الدعم توصل لي تروح على تطوير القناه وما فيها. وجزاك الله خيرا لكل واحد بيدعم القناه وتكون في ميزان حسناتكم يا رب. اما الان استودعكم الله الذي لا تضيع ودائعه. خلينا نشوفكم على خير وتصبحوا على خير.